Hare Krishna. Welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita series discussion. Today we shall be discussing text 35 from the first verse, first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So text 35 is Api Trailokya Rajasyam Hetu Kim no Mahi Krite Nihatya Dhartarashtrana Ka Priti Syas Janardana. O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them even in exchange of 3 worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasures will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? So text 35, Arjuna is again reiterating his decision, saying, Krishna, I don't want to fight. No. I'm not prepared to fight with them even in exchange of 3 worlds. Not to speak of this small kingdom of this earth. Even if I was to get the kingdom of Bhuvar and Swargaloka, I still don't want to fight with my relatives. And as a soft-hearted Vaishnava, again he's saying, what pleasure will we derive by killing our own brothers, the sons of Dhritarashtra? So, the devotee of the Lord does not, retaliate against the wrongdoers. Though Duryodhana and their brothers, they had done a lot of injustices to Pandavas, a lot of wrong things to Pandavas. But Arjuna is not ready to retaliate. But Krishna does not tolerate any mischief done to his devotees. He punishes the miscreants. Krishna may excuse a wrongdoer who does something wrong to Krishna, but Krishna will never excuse a wrongdoer who torments or any way offends his devotees. So therefore, Krishna was determined to kill the miscreants like Duryodhana. Although Arjuna wanted to excuse them, but Krishna was determined. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a beautiful discussion or narration about Ambarish Maharaj. Once Ambarish Maharaj was doing Ekadashi Vrata. And when it was time for him to break the fast, there happened to come the great sage Durvasa, who's known for becoming very easily pleased and very easily angered also. So when he came, Ambarish Maharaj, befitting to his position as a Raja Rishi, he welcomed Durvasa Muni and invited him for the lunch, for having a meal. And Durvasa Muni said, yes, I definitely accept your invitation, but I need to take bath. So he left to take bath in river Yamuna. He went to the river, and after entering the river, he started chanting Gayatri, and he completely forgot. He went into meditation mode. In the meantime, the time for completing the fast, because Paran timing is very important when you want to when you want to complete the fast, especially Ekadashi Vrata. Just as it is important to follow the rules and regulations of following the Vrata, similarly it's also important to follow the Parana timings. So Durvasa Muni forgot, but in the meantime the Parana timing was passing away. When simply a moment or two were left, Ambarish Maharaj asked his ministers, his Brahmanas, that if it is not inappropriate, maybe I can take a few drops of water to complete the fast. He was willing to tolerate the hunger and thirst, but he didn't want it to let the vrata not be completed. So the Brahmanas gave the permission. So he drank little water. Durvasa Muni completed his meditation and came back to Amrish Maharaj's palace. And by his yogic powers, he could understand that Amrish Maharaj had drank little water, which was not really a big deal. But that enraged Durvasa Muni. He became so angry. He thought that to be insult to himself, because in Vedic culture, in the ancient cultures, when you invite a guest to come and eat, you cannot eat. Ideally, you should not be eating till the time the guest has eaten and been satisfied fully. And of course, Amrish Maharaj didn't want to drink or eat anything. But this was a special situation where he had to complete the vrata in a timely manner. So Amrish Maharaj, he didn't do any offense, but Durvasa Muni felt it as an insult. He became so angry. He said, Amrish Maharaj, you had invited me as a guest and you have not followed the etiquette of waiting for me, but you drank the water. You are very much puffed up and proud. You think that you are a king and therefore you don't have to wait for anyone. That was not the case. And therefore you need to be punished. And saying this, Durvasa, by his mystic powers, he pulled some hairs from his head and threw it to the ground. And those hairs transformed into a huge fiery demon who wanted to, obey the order of Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni ordered him to kill Amrish Maharaj. So this demon, very powerful, approached Amrish Maharaj to kill him. And Amrish Maharaj stood there, in front of Durvasa Muni with folded hands like this. When the demon approached Amrish Maharaj did not even step back an inch. He stood firmly on his place without any fear. At the same time, Amrish Maharaj did not retaliate. He had power to fight with the demon, but he thought that since Durvasa Muni is thinking that I am an offender, I will not retaliate. He has become angry because of my behavior, so I am not going to retaliate. Even though Durvasa Muni had prepared or called the demon to kill Amrish Maharaj. So, but Lord couldn't tolerate. When Lord Vishnu from the Vaikuntha, he saw this, he immediately sent the Sudarshan Chakra. The Sudarshan Chakra destroyed the demon, and after destroying the demon, Sudarshan Chakra did not stop there. It attacked Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni is a great sage, a great vibhuti. And yet, when he was chased by Sudarshan Chakra, he started running for his life. He ran to, first of all, went to Lord Brahma, taking shelter of Lord Brahma, that please protect me from Sudarshan Chakra. And Brahma told him, I'm sorry. Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Narayan is invincible. I cannot protect you. Please go somewhere else. He ran to Lord Shiva, to Kailash. And Lord Shiva, when he saw him, he said, you have offended a great Vaishnava. And Sudarshan Chakra is invincible. If I try to protect you, even I will be finished. I'm sorry, I cannot protect you. I suggest you go to Lord Narayan only. He has sent Sudarshan Chakra, only he can protect you. So Durvasa Muni had so much power that he went to actually Vaikuntha. He took shelter of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu, what did he tell him? Aham bhakta paradhina. I am under the control of my devotees. My devotees bring me under the control just like a chaste and faithful wife brings under control a gentle husband. So Lord Vishnu said, if you want, the only person who can protect you is Ambarish Maharaj. So Durvasa Muni ran back to Ambarish Maharaj, fell at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj. And Ambarish Maharaj, with great respect, he picked up Durvasa Muni. He was feeling embarrassed. Durvasa Muni was asking forgiveness, but Ambarish Maharaj was thinking that I am actually an offender. So he told Sudarshan Chakra, please release this Brahmana from the distress. And then Ambarish Maharaj personally served Durvasa Muni the nice meal. This entire episode happened when Ambarish Maharaj, Durvasa Muni was being chased by Sudarshan Chakra for one entire year passed on this earth. And Ambarish Maharaj did not eat or drink anything for that entire year. He was fasting, anticipating that Durvasa Muni will come back and he will eat first, then I'll eat my meal. So this was the proof that Ambarish Maharaj was not an offender in any way. But because Durvasa Muni, a great sage, he offended Ambarish Maharaj, who happened to be a householder, a king with worldly affairs, Krishna could not tolerate. No. So similarly, Arjun wanted to forgive the Kauravas, Duryodhana and his brothers. But Krishna had prepared his mind to punish the miscreants. So this verse is actually indicating that Arjun's soft-heartedness as a Vaishnava, he doesn't want to retaliate in the war. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.